Once in a while, there is a story so unique in the 7th round of the NHL Draft that it begs for us to be talked about. That is Alexander Karmanov, a player who has dominated the Elite Prospects Trending Players page for pretty much the entire past 24 hours. He is the latest San Jose Sharks prospect, and that is technically correct since he was taken with the 201st overall pick in the 2026 NHL Entry Draft. He was taken right at the bottom of the crop, and he was the final San Jose Sharks selection. Karmanov has made headlines because he quite literally is the headline. 18 years old, out of Moldova, Russia, 7'1", 271 pounds, a left-handed defenseman, and a guy who is literally the tallest player ever drafted in the National Hockey League. Look at him and look at Dan Milstein, how he towers over his agent. He is, what is that, 1, 2, 2.5 Dan Milstein heads taller than Dan Milstein. By the way, that's Dan Milstein. I don't know if y'all have ever actually looked at him before, but that's him on the left right there, the shorter dude. Karmanov is in the helmet. He's the bigger dude. This season for the North Bay Battalion, Karmanov had 2 points in 20 games played. He also played for the Brantford Titans, scoring 7 points in 15 games. That's not great. And really, when you look at it, Karmanov is not going to be an NHLer soon, let alone if he ever does become an NHL player. When you take a look at it, he's going over to Penn State University starting in 27-28. He'll spend another season with the North Bay Battalion in the OHL, so this guy's path to National Hockey League stardom is going to be quite long, if he ever does get to that point to begin with. If we head over to the Elite Prospects Scouting Report Draft Guide, they give Karmanov an F grading, but I mean, he was taken 201st overall. It's fine. His skating is a 2.5 out of 10, shooting a 3 out of 10, passing a 3.5 out of 10, puck handling 3 out of 10, hockey sense 3.5, but his physical grading is a 6 out of 10. The tallest high-level hockey player stepped into the OHL as a depth role guy and found success. He could be a late-round pick, the summary says. If you read, they actually do have a decent amount of text on Karmanov, one of the most well-known prospects in this guide, because his Elite Prospects page had accumulated nearly over 280,000 views, the 6th most out of any 2026 draft eligible. Chances are you know why. At 7'1", he is the world's tallest high-level hockey player. Cut from the Brantford Bulldogs in the fall, Karmanov worked on his game in the GOHL, Junior B. It didn't take long for North Bay to sign him, where he ultimately spent the season rotating in and out of the lineup, but performed well enough when he got in. Above all else, Karmanov understands what he has to be to find success at higher levels, a rush-stopping, downright mean defender who takes pride in the details. Karmanov's reach is a weapon. Simply placing his stick in the middle of the rink pushes most of the attack to the outside. There's some craft to how he leverages it, timing sweeping at pucks or timing pokes with receptions. He wants to impose his will physically, wrapping up opponents, lining up hits, and getting in extra shots along the walls. Karmanov shows intelligence too. He anticipates plays defensively and gets involved offensively at times, even showing some handling skill. At a certain point, height becomes a disadvantage. Hockey is a game of sharp turns, stops and starts, and leverages in battle. Height doesn't matter if you can't keep up or get low enough to absorb contact and dig under opponents. Reach, usually an advantage, becomes a disadvantage as there is more space for puck carriers to work underneath and forecheckers to pickpocket pucks. Movements are slower even for the quick big men. These are challenges that Karmanov has faced and must continue to overcome to find success. Learning to hide his reach so opponents walk into poke check range is a trick he could use to mitigate some of those concerns. Developing his posture, particularly widening his stance, could offset some of the natural quick disadvantages. While Karmanov is too far out to project, we wouldn't fault a team for spending a late-round pick on him. He has shown tangible growth and seems to embrace the identity he'll need to play a role. That is pretty fair. But the thing is, we got to talk about this dude as well, not just because of the fact that he got drafted, which is awesome. Congratulations to him. He has been noteworthy in the hockey scene ever since his days in the U18 tournaments. But there have been some folks going out there and maybe kind of blindly talking about what the future has in store for this dude. Here's a tweet by Sam Dickinson Glazer on Twitter from earlier this morning. There's no way they actually think he's playing next season, bro. He most likely won't ever. I'm crying. And linked is a TikTok video. TikTok, Instagram, I'm not too sure. I only use IG Reels, but this is a video posted of Karmanov drafted. Oh, he's 7'1". He's the tallest player drafted in the NHL, by the way. And the comments, oh, I'm so beyond hyped for this season. Wow. This season is going to be so good. Like, no, they think that he's going to play. They think he's playing next year. No, he's not playing next year. He's going back to the OHL, and then next season after that, he'll go to university. He might even spend 2 or 3 years in Penn State, and then he'll probably go to the AHL. This guy, if he ever does make the NHL, which, let's be real, he's a 7th-round pick. I don't think it's guaranteed in the slightest that he plays ever, but, like, if he does make it, he's not doing so until, like, 2028? 2029? This guy's not going to be an NHL option for the San Jose Sharks anytime soon. So folks going out there and talking about how they're hyped to see him next season, like, no, he's not going to play. That's funny. But then again, it's like, Sharks fans, right? What do you expect? I understand that the San Jose Sharks are the hot team to like right now. They just had a really fantastic draft, the best draft out of every NHL team, bar none. Getting Keaton, Verhoeff, Ryan Lynn, and Ivar Stenberg unmatched, literally. And even Karmanov at the bottom of the draft, it makes for a fun headline. But at the end of the day, we all understand that the majority of Sharks fans that have been loudest on social media the past few months, a lot of them have come over to cheer for San Jose because of very different reasons than most of us that cheer for other NHL teams. And I am saying, like, the loudest majority of Sharks fans on social media. Not even saying the majority of Sharks fans that exist in general. I'm sure there are a number of fans that are not as loud and rambunctious and overwhelming on the internet like some of these fans that happen to be fans of another show that happens to feature hockey players too. Yeah, let's just move on from that. Sharks fans knowing nothing about hockey. I mean, I'm a Sharks fan, but there's definitely a lot who only watch because the players are hot, so they know nothing about the actual sport and the league. Yeah, the amount of Celebrini Will Smith things that I've seen just popping up here and there, it's alarming, I think I'll say. Seeing people upset that he drafted him? No, like, nobody's, like, upset that he drafted him. He's a 7th-round guy. Like, it's a fun story. Don't stop believing. Genuinely, he won't play in the NHL ever. I know, but people can dream. Trust me, you don't want him on the Sharks. He's not very good. Okay, look. I'm not going to say that he's, like, fantastic, right? I'm not going to sit here and think that, oh yeah, Karmanov is going to have an NHL career long term. Like, that's not going to happen, most likely. The fact that he is 7'1" makes it a great story. But then again, it's like, you need to have a different sort of training regimen and a different level of athletic composition to be able to succeed at the National Hockey League level at 7'1". He's 18. He could grow to 7'2", 7'3". This guy could be the Wemby of the NHL, but without the Wemby-like impact. And if that does ever come to a point, the amount of work that this guy's going to need to put in to be able to ever suit up in a National Hockey League game, that in itself is going to be commendable. If it actually pushes through, then holy crap, he'll actually find a way to get it done. I'm not saying it's likely. It would be a great story, but then again, he's a 7th-round pick, 201st overall. When was the last time you can name off the top of your head one of those picks made the NHL? Like, it's very rare. So I'm not saying it's guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. But then again, San Jose Sharks fans talking about how they're excited to see him play. Like, oh, that's so funny. San Jose Sharks fans, right? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.